Today, I'm going to be talking about the test some of us fear the most. No, not that one. I'm talking about California's stringent auto emissions exam. We have the toughest standards in the nation. But by attaching the eco-friendly PET onto the end of your car's tailpipe, you can significantly reduce the amount of particulate matter released into the atmosphere. I first began designing a cleaner car exhaust product because I really love cars. The problem is that most of us drive a gas-powered car, one with a tailpipe exhaust system. My family, for example, drives a 2002 Toyota Sienna. It goes 19 miles on a gallon of gas. It's functional, but it's definitely not my dream car. My dream car is the all-electric 2020 Tesla Roadster. It can go 0 to 60 miles per hour in 1.9 seconds and 620 miles per charge. It is extremely environmentally friendly. Plus, it looks really cool. But all-electric cars like the Roadster aren't going to be the sole solution to cleaning up the air we breathe. Even electric cars aren't 100% clean. Getting rid of electric car batteries is a huge problem. Then there's the fact that there are only 1 million electric cars on the road today versus 1 billion gas-powered cars. As much as I'd like to be able to report that my device solves global warming and that I have become the supreme savior of this planet, unfortunately, that's not true. The Nobel Committee is going to have to wait. The truth is, there is no silver bullet. Environmental issues don't solve themselves, and no one is going to solve these issues for us. I strongly believe that environmental issues can only be solved by a community of people working together. That's why I decided to create my device out of products that can be found in anyone's home. This way, anyone can create this device and become a part of the solution. In my first experiment, I attempted to use Drano and cat litter in order to react with carbon dioxide coming from car exhaust. Drano contains sodium hydroxide, and cat litter contains sodium bentonite. Unfortunately, the first version of my no-emissions tailpipe failed. I was stuck with 5 pounds of cat litter, and I don't even own a cat. I did learn, however, that sodium hydroxide is much more effective than sodium bentonite at removing carbon dioxide. The only problem is that the amount of carbon dioxide being removed isn't significant. Plus, my dad wasn't too excited about going down the highway with gallons of Drano in the trunk. This brought me back to square one. My Nobel seemed to be fading in the distance. While retracing my steps, I realized I didn't have to focus on carbon dioxide. I have all these other harmful substances that I can try to focus on instead. I decided to focus on particulate matter, or PM, which is responsible for a lot of cardiovascular issues. My scientific breakthrough is the PET, the particulate emissions tailpipe, which is capable of filtering out the tiny particles coming from your car exhaust. This device is cheap and easy for anyone to create and install on their own cars. The device acts like a mini electrostatic precipitator. It positively charges the particulate matter and then traps it with a magnetic field. The early trials are extremely promising. The particulate matter stays within the device rather than our lungs. Now, I know that this device probably doesn't look like much. Probably because it looks like a 3-year-old's art project. But it is capable of filtering out up to 75% of the particulate matter from your cars. So once I was convinced that my device worked, I decided to start a YouTube campaign to convince others to create their own PET. Let's take a look at one of the videos I made. This first one will show you how you can make your own PET.
How to build the particulate emissions tailpipe. The PET requires the following materials. Start by removing the ends of a soup can and then cover the entire soup can in heat-resistant tape. You also have the option to spray paint over the tape for visual appeal. After that, cover the inside of the soup can with aluminum foil. Connect a wire to the aluminum foil and cut a hole in the soup can that will allow the wire to go outside the can. Next, you will need to cut holes in the lid of the soup can. Use this lid as an example and cut out all the parts that have been colored in. After that, take a soda can and cut off the ends. The goal is to create a cylinder that will hang from the lid of the soup can. Cut the necessary amount of aluminum from the soda can and tape it to the lid. The dimensions will vary depending on the size of your soup can. Next, wrap some aluminum foil around the soda can. Wrap some wire around the outside as well. Your device should look something like this. The lid needs to be reattached to the soup can. To do this, wrap multiple layers of aluminum foil around the soup can and the lid. The aluminum foil should be able to slide off the soup can while still being connected to the lid. Add tape for strength. Next, wrap some wires around the heatsink and attach the heatsink to the soup can. Make sure you tape perpendicular to the can and leave some space on the ends. Attach all the wires. This diagram explains the wiring. Make sure all exposed wire is covered with tape. To attach this device to your car, use 2 hose clamps to connect the device to the steel bar. Use 2 more hose clamps to connect the steel bar to your car's tailpipe. Your device is now complete. Here are the results after a short 10-minute test. Go to buildmypet.com to learn more about how you can help the environment.
In case that was too fast for you, I have more YouTube videos on my channel that break down the individual steps and make them easy for anyone to understand. You can check out my YouTube channel. It's called Build Your Pet. I also have videos of my experiments and the results of those experiments in order to help people better understand the science behind my device. Hopefully, this will inspire others to make their own improvements and build their own pet. I also have lists of alternative materials in case some are difficult to access. I also have a video that helps you make sure that your device isn't going to fly off your car at 60 miles per hour. That one's pretty important. So I will continue experimenting and making improvements upon my device, so definitely check out my YouTube channel to keep up with my latest advances. And definitely consider making your own pet. Every driver that makes the decision to become greener has a huge impact on our environment. This is especially important for people with older cars, like my Sienna, or bigger vehicles, such as trucks. According to the World Health Organization, about 7 million people die every year from air pollution. In fact, only 9% of countries actually meet the air quality safety standard. A lot of this air pollution comes from the 1 billion cars on the road today. This device is capable of saving millions of lives. Imagine if all of these drivers created their own pet and attached it to the end of their tailpipe. Think about all those people who now get to breathe cleaner, healthier air and live longer, healthier lives. And all this is possible with just a few wires and a soup can. Thank you.